Hello, hello, hello. Ladies and gents, I hope you guys had a great, what day is today? Sunday, I believe it is. Hope you guys, enjoyed some, I don't know, basketball, football, stuff like that. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I also do a whole bunch of other content. We'll go over that in a second. All of these videos get posted on this subreddit right here, called DF Sports. You can find my posts. My username is Shook. I make updates with all of the news that comes out. Very, very important stuff. And then people talk strategy here. You can ask me questions. I'll always respond to you, stuff like that. So check that out. If that's something you're interested in. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter at ToryLangley1992. By the way, just know that Twitter is. I don't check my Twitter messages often. As you can see, I have a message. I'll check that after the video. If one of you messaged me and it was like a timely matter, I apologize in advance. But if you need anything, yeah, definitely message me on Twitter. And I just want to thank you guys. I started making these videos public, and I think like in less than a year, already at 1,500 subs, which is absolutely wild. So appreciate all of you. Let's take a look at my lineups from tonight. So it's going to be I'm not going to cash on the main slate, but it's going to be a profitable day overall. NASCAR went very, very well. I also got second in a Call of Duty contest. I also got second in a PGA Tour contest. So it's going to be a pretty profitable day. Overall, Call of Duty second there. NASCAR went very, very well. Also, guys, I'll show that in a second after we go over my lineups. I'm also binking the showdown slate. I know like midway through the fourth I was binking. I don't know if I'm binking right now. I doubt it. We'll see. We'll see how that ends. Could be even a better day if I bink the showdown. But main slate didn't cash, and you guys have no idea how mad I am. Just when will the downswing end? When will the downswing end? I'm so mad because I had the absolute nuts before Damian Lillard got rolled out. I literally had the nuts. You guys want to know who was in my lineup before Damian Lillard got rolled out? CJ McCollum, Josh Giddey, Trey, um, Trey Murphy, Najee Marshall, Keita Bates-Diop, Zach Collins, um, Jalen Williams, and then I punted. I forget who I punted with. But I literally pretty much had the nuts. Trey Murphy went for 60 fantasy points at no ownership. Literally no ownership. I literally had the nuts. And I'm absolutely tilted. Damian Lillard got rolled out, and I moved stuff around. I swapped from Jalen Williams to Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant gets injured. Then comes back. Massive blowout. Only plays 19 minutes. 19 minutes for Jeremy Grant. Mr. Devin Vassell. Mr. Devin Vassell. Where do I start with you? No Keldon. No Trey Jones. By the way, skip forward if you don't want to hear this. 5.8K, way too cheap in a smash, and I mean smash, pace up spot against the Thunder. 33 minutes, 2 of 10 shooting, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Thanks, Devin Vassell. Already went over the Jeremy Grant injury. Mr. Anthony Simons. No Damian Lillard. Absolute good spot. Okay spot against the Pelicans. I figure, sure, this game should stay close, but no, Portland, I should have known myself. Portland is just terrible, but 7 of 15 shooting, Only 4 assists, 2 rebounds, massive, massive blowout, huge bust. Mr. Zach Collins, absolutely breaking the slate, picks up 2 fouls instantly, straight to the bench. Let's see how many minutes Mr. Zach Collins finished with tonight. 30. I guess that's... maybe he would have played more, because he's always been around 30, but... unreal. Mr. Najee Marshall. Mr. Najee Marshall. Let's see what he finished with. Just didn't shoot the ball at all. Usually a guy that can stuff the stat sheet. Do a little bit of everything. Get those rebounds. Score those points. It was the Trey Murphy show. Just unreal. CJ McCollum. 40% of the field faded. Mr. CJ McCollum. And Trey Murphy makes it a 30-point game. Mr. Joshua... guys, I'm tilting my whole lineup tonight. Mr. Joshua Giddey. Over half the field faded him in one of the best matchups in the league. Probably the nut matchup in the league. He misses 10 layups. I'm not kidding. He missed 10 layups. Literally missed 10 layups. Shot 6 of 16. And only played 32 minutes, which, I mean, I can't bitch about that because we always know it's the range of outcomes with, Oklahoma City. But he missed like 10 easy layups. Keita Bates-Diop, you were great. I love you, Keita Bates-Diop. But once Dame got rolled out, I pivot off the absolute stone cold nuts. Such is life. Such is life. One day, guys. By the way, enough tilting for me. By the way, Discord link will be down below. I have in-depth content going over the slate, player pools for cash, GPPs, course stuff like that. We do NASCAR in Discord. We do PGA in Discord. We're going to be doing MLB in Discord. We do XFL in Discord. I have premium content for XFL. We also had someone win $10,000 in XFL today. We also had someone win $10,000 in NASCAR today. So between two people, $20,000 won between two sports. Like, absolutely wild. Just a lot of sharp people in the Discord that go over a lot of different sports. It's a great place to be. Check that out if that's something you're interested in. Link to that will be down below. All right, we got I believe 7-game slate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7-game slate for tomorrow. We get to run it back with the Pacers. We get to run it back with Dallas. Who's ready? And Detroit. Who's ready? I know I am. So, phenomenal spot here. Detroit is terrible. They don't play defense. We have Hallie, we have Turner, we have Mathurin, we have TJ McConnell up. I don't expect Hield to play. They're tanking. It's after the All-Star break. We're going to start seeing rotations where they're going to let the young guys go, stuff like that. So, I don't think Buddy Hield is going to play. So if that is the case, I still really like Andrew Nembhard at 5K. His usage is just very, very good without those guys. His assist rates, potential assists, stuff like that. Plus, it's a phenomenal matchup. I wouldn't be surprised if he has like 20 to 25 potential assists tomorrow. So I love Andrew Nembhard. Jalen Smith, Isaiah Jackson, these two are going to full split the center minutes. You basically saw an even split between both of them. I think both look like great value plays to me. Both phenomenal point per minute guys. Once again, a very good matchup as well. I believe Jordan Nwora will move into the starting lineup with no Buddy Hield. I like him a lot at 4.5K. Only played 16 minutes last game. Now, I think if he starts with no Buddy Hield, he would probably play more. I don't think he'll probably play like high 30s minutes, but I would think at least mid 20s, which would make him a good value. Chris Duarte, you have to have short-term memory in DFS. He's not going to pick up 4 fouls instantly again. He's not going to shoot 211 again. He was on pace for absolute huge minutes and got into massive foul trouble. Assuming he starts again, I really like him at 4.2K. I'm hoping the ownership drops on him because I think he's a great play here once again. And if people are going to fade because of this outlier game last game, be my guest. I will not be. I think Duarte looks great here once again. You're going to see rotational minutes for guys like George Hill. You're going to see rotational minutes for James Johnson. You're going to see rotational minutes for O'Shea Brissett. I don't think it's necessary to go to those guys. Um, they are viable, but I don't think it will be necessary on this slate. Let's move over to Detroit. So we now have Bagley out. We already have Ivy out. We have Bojan out. We have Stewart out. We have Diallo out. We have Burks out. So Wiseman, Duran, these two guys are going to split the center minutes. I don't have like a favorite. I guess Duran because he's cheaper, but both are fine options in a good matchup. I really like Killian Hayes here once again. You guys knew I was extremely high on him here against the Pacers. He's going to play big minutes. He's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. Without Jaden Ivey, this team is his. I don't care if he's a bad basketball player. He is good for fantasy when all these guys are ruled out. Gets a huge, huge boost. So I think Killian Hayes looks like one of the better mid-range options on the slate. I don't know what they're going to do with the starting lineup. They could start Corey Joseph. I really don't know what they're going to do. But Livers, he'll get a ton of run. Very, very low usage. I think it's chasing if you go to him, but completely reasonable play. I think he's a bit overpriced, though. Kojo probably plays, around 30 minutes. Fine option at 5-1. Already went over Duran. I'll mention Eugene Amorie once again, who I've mentioned for like the past three slates. If they're going to continue to give him mid-20s minutes, I definitely think he's an intriguing GPP play just because he is a pretty good point per minute guy. I don't know if anyone will be on him either. It depends on what other value opens up and the value we already have. Like, it might not make sense to play Eugene Amorie on this slate in like a single entry, but if I was playing 150 lineups, I would definitely sprinkle in some Eugene Amorie. Magruder will probably play, I don't know, around 25 to 30 minutes. Don't think we need to go there. And let's go over Utah. So we have Jordan Clarkson, I believe, possibly coming back. If he's back, there's just nothing. I think Utah would be a stay away for me in a tough matchup. Even if he's in, I think Utah's probably a stay away for me in a really tough matchup against Miami. Marking it at almost 10K is definitely overpriced now that you factor in the matchup as well. Jordan Clarkson overpriced. Walker Kessler, I really hate the spot up against Bam Adebayo, and I think he's priced appropriately. THT, I would not consider if Clarkson's in. If Clarkson's out, you could consider him. But once again, same with Livers. I feel like this is definitely chasing here for THT, especially given the matchup as well, and the price is up. Everyone else, I'm just going to stay away from. Utah, basically a stay away from me. Miami, basically a stay away from me as well. Although, I do like Bam Adebayo quite a bit, and here's why. So, they're going to run a tight rotation with Bam, Butler, Tyler Hero. These three guys are going to play huge minutes. Utah is very, very bad against opposing bigs. I want to say that they're like bottom 5 against opposing bigs, so I just think the spot's really, really good for Bam. I don't think he'll be getting a ton of ownership. Also, you're going to get leverage off of everyone going to a value center. So if you pay up at center tomorrow, I think that's a good way to get different from the field. Like if Bam Adebayo goes out there and gets you like 50 to 55, and like Isaiah Jackson, Jalen Smith, etc., only get like 25-ish, that's a big leg up on the field. So I think an interesting way about going about tomorrow would be paying up at center, but obviously those value centers are phenomenal plays. But just a thought for GPPs. Yeah, I think Bam's in a really good spot. I think he would be my favorite of the Miami guys. I'm not going to get to anyone else, though. I think everyone else should. Like, if Kyle Lowry and Caleb Martin are out, you could consider Gabe Vincent at the flat min. Definitely would have interest in him. But I don't think I'd really be considering anyone else here on Miami. I think Butler's in play. He's been playing phenomenal of late. So I have no issue if you want to go to Jimmy Butler. Also playing very, very big minutes as well. So yeah, I think Bam my favorite, Butler a close second. So on to Memphis. We have Ja Adams still out. I think the big three are all playable. I don't think one stands out more than the other. I think Tyus would be the easiest to get to given the price, but I think now they're all kind of priced appropriately for me. I think like Jaren at almost 9K, that just feels kind of disgusting to me. Desmond Bane, of course, we all finally fade him and he just goes for 50, but does have a ceiling. He'll have the ball in his hands a lot more. He'll handle the ball a ton when Tyus isn't on the court as well, which helps his floor. So his peripheral stats will go up. So I think Bane's an interesting GPP play. Like I said, I think Tyus is the easiest to get to just because he's the cheapest of the bunch. Super high floor, but like I said, I think the price is now getting to a point where I think he is priced appropriately. Dylan Brooks always has a ceiling if he's hitting his shots, but I don't like the specific matchup for him, so I think I'll fade there. I don't think I'll be going to anyone else, though. Let's move on to Dallas. So we get to run it back here. We have Kyrie questionable. If he's in, I think Kyrie looks like a good spend up at 10.5K. His role without Luca should absolutely be elite. Just look who he's going to be playing alongside if Luca is not on the court. He's going to be playing alongside guys like Josh Green, Tim Hardaway Jr., Reggie Bullock, all pretty low usage guys when Kyrie is going to be healthy outside of like Tim Hardaway Jr. So just look who he's going to be playing with. I would argue his usage without Luca on this team is going to be way higher than it was on the Nets when like Harden, KD were out. Just because I think like Reggie Bullock, super low usage. Josh Green, super low usage. Tim Hardaway Jr., sure, gonna take a ton of shots. But like everyone else, very, very low usage. Christian Wood's not getting a ton of minutes. So I think the role here for Kyrie Irving is going to be elite if he plays. So I do like Kyrie if he plays. Tim Hardaway Jr. at 6'4", I think would be appropriately priced, but also still does have a ceiling, would be in play for me for GPPs. I called it last game. I called it. I told everyone in Discord, I'm not playing Christian Wood unless he starts. Everyone in the everyone in the industry flocked to Christian Wood. All I heard about all day was the hype for Christian Wood. I said, nope, nope, no, 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 no. I don't think he plays normal minutes coming off the bench. I don't think they play him any more than they usually would. We all faded Christian Wood. It worked out in a big way. So yeah, not going to go to Wood unless he starts. Josh Green, definitely a downgrade if Kyrie's in. Hardy would go back to the bench. Don't think I would have too much interest there if Kyrie's in. Not going to play Bullock, and I wouldn't really go to anyone else. But if Kyrie's out, that does change some things. Then I like Tim Hardaway Jr. at 6'4". He's going to be the main offensive weapon for this team. Probably going to shoot the ball, black hole, basically like Dylan Brooks. So like Tim Hardaway Jr., nobody was on Josh Green last slate, and I was really, really high on him. He was like 5% owned, so I think that will change tomorrow if Kyrie is out. Might go a bit over owned, but I still think a very solid value. Jaden Hardy would start, play 37 minutes. He would be a phenomenal value play if Kyrie is out. Reggie Bullock would be playable. Maxi Kleba probably plays mid-20s minutes, an okay value play. They just don't want to go to Wood right now. So a lot to like on Dallas pending Kyrie Irving news. So, all right, Minnesota, Atlanta. Good spot here. We have Rudy Gobert questionable. I think Ant's interesting. I don't know who. I assume DeJounte is going to be on Ant. We'll see. So it's not the best individual matchup, but I think it's interesting without Rudy Gobert. I think just without Rudy Gobert, I think Mike Conley is going to have to lean on Anthony Edwards a little bit more, obviously, because Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert have a connection. So I think Ant might. I would have to look at rates. I don't even know if rates would be possible with the limited time with Mike Conley on this team, but I think with Gobert off the court and Mike Conley and Ant sharing the court, that's going to help out Anthony Edwards a lot. At least you would think. So I think Ant's a good GPP play. Rudy Gobert, if he plays, fine option. They ran a pretty tight rotation last game. Obviously, it went into overtime, but you saw over 30 minutes for Kyle Anderson. You saw like 35 for Mike Conley. So I think they're reasonable plays in the mid-range. Seem pretty safe to me. And I'm not going to go to anyone else if Rudy Gobert is in. NAW is fish food on the slate. Do not play NAW. There's just so much better value. Torian Prince, fish food. So, yeah. If Rudy Gobert is out, though, you guys know what to do. Like, I like Ant, slow-mo, gets a big boost as well. Would like him. Conley would be playable. McDaniels gets a little bit of a boost. Actually, I don't know if he does, but playable. Naz Reid would be the best play on the slate. Do not fade Naz Reid if Rudy Gobert is out. I would absolutely love him. He would be the best value play on the slate. So that will do it for Minnesota. Atlanta time. So it's a good spot. It's a pace-up spot. I think the pricing is about right, though. Like, Trey always has a ceiling for GPPs. We saw it last game. He's probably going to get you a double-double, and if he has a good shooting game or if he just wants to be aggressive, he's going to break the slate. So I always have interest in guys like Trae Young for GPPs, just because nobody wants to play Trae Young, and he just has the same amount of upside for a cheaper price as pretty much any stud on the slate. So I always have interest in Trae. Now that DeJounte Murray is about $1,000 close in range to Trae, I'd just rather pay the extra 1,000 for Trae. Clint Capella, Okongwu, these two guys are going to split the center minutes. Good luck trying to figure out which ones are going to play. How much it varies. Hunter, no thank you. Bay, no thank you. John Collins' minutes have been up of late as well, playing around 30 minutes. If he continues to play around 30 minutes, I think he is a solid value play. And I don't think I'll be going to anyone else on Atlanta. Let's move on to Boston. So, do you think this game stays close? Because if you think this game stays close, I think Tatum looks like a pretty good spend up in a phenomenal matchup. Just a lot of blowout risk here, a lot of blowout risk. But this is a spot where you could see Tatum just absolutely nuke. So I like Tatum. If he's going to be popular, though, I think I'll probably fade. Jaylen Brown, same kind of thing. I think it's a really good spot. Guards against Houston have been absolutely destroying. So yeah, I like the top two guys if this game stays close. Um, the trio of White, Brogdon, Smart, I don't think I can go to any of them. Like, if I had to pick one, it would be Smart, just because guards against Houston. I don't think I have to say it a million times. We have Robert Williams, I believe, going to be out. Horford, just fine, but priced about right. And I don't think I'll be going to anyone else. Let's move on to Houston. So really, really tough spot for Houston. Sengun is probable. We have KPJ back, so there's just not much here. I think this is basically a cross off for me. Jabari Smith has had back-to-back massive games, also playing big minutes. Don't like it. Priced about right. Jalen Green, KPJ, I think are priced about right. Tari Eason's overpriced. There's just not a lot here. So let's just move on. On to Phoenix. So KD gonna be out. I think all three of the Phoenix guys look pretty good to me. They're also playing huge minutes right now. So you saw 39 for Chris Paul. You saw 38 for Booker. You saw 37 for Ayton. So with no KD in a good spot against the Warriors, I like Booker. I like Paul. I like Ayton. I think Booker is my favorite of the three. But I think all three look pretty good. I think Josh Okogie is a solid value, good point per minute guy. Played 35 minutes last game. No issue if you want to go there. Terrence Ross will be in the rotation, but I don't think it's necessary on this slate, but he'll shoot the ball a lot. So I like the main four here for the Phoenix Suns. On to the Warriors. So not much. I always like Steph for GPPs. Kind of the same thing I said about Trey. Just like has tremendous upside and nobody wants to play him. So I think Steph is always a good tournament play. Clay, Poole, I think are a bit overpriced with everyone back. Draymond seems priced about right to me. Dante, no. Looney, no. Just not a lot here. I think it's just Steph or bust for me on the Warriors. And last game here, guys. Not a lot in this game. We have Giannis questionable. If he's in, he's clearly the best spend up on the slate. I don't think that's a contrarian take. So love Giannis if he plays. He's not on a limit. Everyone will be out of play for me. And then if he's out, there's like still I think everyone's priced about right. Like I think 9K for Drew is just it's right. It's right for when Giannis is out. It really is. But he shot the ball very, very poorly. Still went for almost 50 fantasy points. It's a fast-paced game against Sacramento, so I do still have interest in him. I just wish the price was cheaper. Middleton is definitely priced about right. Did play 34 minutes last game though, which is definitely a good sign. So they're all in play for me. I just wish the prices were a little bit cheaper. I think all are solid GPP plays though. Brook Lopez, I'm not going to go to him, but he's been playing very, very well. Continues to get like 10 blocks a game. I mean, Grayson, Ingles, Crowder, they're all going to get a boost if Giannis is out. I think Ingles would be my favorite just because he'll do more ball handling. But yeah, there's just not much on Milwaukee. On to Sacramento, so it's tough spot. No issue with Sabonis, no issue with Fox. The wings, one will get benched, one will have a good game, one will do mediocre. So I think that'll do it for the video, guys. I hope you guys had a great night tonight. Tried to be in depth as possible as I could while giving good analysis, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.